You know, it's true what they say. You don't realize what you have until it's gone. We, as a whole community, have completely neglected and underappreciated everything that we had with the old 2K games, bro. I'm talking about 2K11 and up, right? I started playing 2K and NBA 2K8, but NBA 2K11 and up, like when all the online modes started really firing and really clicking and everything like that, like it was crazy. It was amazing, bro. It was amazing times looking back on it, getting home after school, play your 2K game. You ain't look forward to nothing more than that. And now, like, we have all these trash versions of 2K, and back then we was calling it trash. We was calling 2K11 trash, we was calling 2K12 trash, which it was, but you know what I'm saying, like we'll get into that, but it was trash. But we had 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 was hot garbage, but that's what I'm saying, like when we had all the ones before, we absolutely never appreciated it. And I'm making this video to let you guys know, one, we didn't appreciate those 2K games, bro. We took all the old 2K games for granted. We didn't realize what we had when we had it, but now that it's gone, you like, dang, I really wish I could get it back, right? You like, yo, if they could open up them 2K16 servers, I'm in there. 2K15 servers, I'm in there. Some people 2K17 servers, I'm in there. Like everybody wants these games back. They want them remastered and everything like that. And I just want to talk to you guys about like the evolution of 2K and the different 2K games that we had and played throughout the years, and how amazing it truly was and how trash it really got. Like before, we was calling it trash when it wasn't actually trash. It had problems. The game's always gonna have problems, but it wasn't actually trash the way it's trash now. But like, let's just talk about this for a second. So I started playing NBA 2K and NBA 2K8. 2K8, I was really just playing like my friends' quick games on, like not online, like in person. This is when you had to go to your friend's house and play them with a controller, I think with the wire and everything, right? So you got the wired controller and everything like that, sitting next to them just playing quick game, that's it. Now, I think the first 2K, correct me if I'm wrong, where I remember my players being introduced was 2K10, and it was lit. They had the draft combined, everything was lit. Chris Smoove started a huge wave posting NBA 2K on YouTube. He did the draft combine, he did the MyCrew. Everybody was watching him. That is the godfather of 2K. He's the reason I make YouTube videos in the first place. Like Chris Smoove started it all. 2K10 was lit, and I don't know if you guys remember what we call Pro-Am now. I don't know how old you are, what you started on, but what we call Pro-Am now is what we used to call MyCrew back then. We had MyCrew, and you used to, it was the same exact thing. You create a team with your friends, whatever. The only difference was you would pick an NBA team. So say I picked the Lakers, right? And then we'll have AI like computers be on the team, and then the rest of us will my players will join and we'll play with our crew. So I'll be playing with my player, then I have Kobe, you know, on the team and stuff like that. Ron Artest, or you know, all the Lakers players is my teammates, and obviously my real life teammates that are like playing online with me and stuff like that. I don't remember if Crew was originally in 2K10 or 11, but around that time, like Crew was crazy. It was lit. It was amazing. Like we ain't never seen nothing like it, and that's why like it was so great, because we literally had never had this. I don't even remember which 2K they introduced the park, but the same thing goes for the park. When they introduced the park in 3v3 and stuff like that, it was lit, because we ain't never had this. This is the first time in our lives that we're seeing this happen, right? So yeah, we had MyCrew either in 2K10, definitely in 2K11. There was a glitch back then where I could create a player that's like 7'3". You could put every stat 99. Back then in the days, if you didn't know, in the 2K games, you could grind your player. One, you couldn't grind him online, but you had to grind him in MyCrew, and you had to use skill points to upgrade him. There was no VC, but you would grind your player and you could get every single stat to 99. Like I'm talking about, you could create gods, superhuman superstars, like every stat 99. It was still a grind though, so you didn't really feel like doing all that. You just want to get online. But either way, you had true demigods in these old 2Ks, and that's what made it so fun, because like you imagine this player that could never possibly exist. Players better than Michael Jordan. That's just like crazy. And at the time, there was a glitch out that I was using on the game. You could create the 7'3" player. I ain't have to grind the player at all. I don't know what I was doing as a little kid, bro. Like thinking back on it, how I even found this glitch on YouTube. But some dude show you how to not play the game at all. Just to take your file or something on the game and then do something with it on your laptop. I don't remember the process, but basically I would mess with my stats on my computer, and then I'll put it back on my system. And when I load the game up, Everything was 99 on my player with no work put into it whatsoever. 99 everything. Now, I don't think I played a lot with the super tall 7'3" 99 because at the time I was a kid and I'm like, oh, I just hit 6 feet. And I like the fact that I just hit 6 feet. So I was like, I want to play with my 6 foot my player because I want to be my actual height. I ain't know no better at the time, you know? But either way, that was crazy. 2K11 MyCrew was crazy. Now 2K12 was trash because they actually removed MyCrew, so nobody liked that. 2K13 and 14, I don't remember too much crazy. I just remember the cover being like Blake Griffin, Kevin Durant, Derrick Rose on 2K13. 2K12, that's a buy year. We bypass it, bro. Like, that don't matter to us. You know what I'm saying? But 2K14, I know, was like the first year next gen. So first year next gen was lit. Back then, next gen was like, you know, PS4s and stuff. We was moving on from the PS3 to the PS4. You know what I'm saying? Moving on from your Xbox 360, I think, to the Xbox One, right? Because I think currently we have like Xbox Series X and stuff like that. So yeah, like, everything was amazing, bro. Like 2K14 was amazing. It was lit. 2K15, still creating demigods, still getting players with all 99s. Now 2K16 is when they started to realize, like, all right, these players are kind of too nice. We need to tone it down. We need to dial it down. And they stopped letting us make all these gods. Like, they were still gods. I'll say this. 2K16 was like the good balance. You could still make a god, but it wasn't like nothing like 2K15 before. Like, now you had to choose inside, outside balance. But what I did was chose a balance player. When I make a balance player, I can still make open threes. I can still get contact dunks. Like, I can still do everything. I just wasn't the craziest at anything. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the outside and inside. That was a good, like, super simple system. Now, everybody loves 2K16. They say, yo, greatest 2K of all time. I tend to agree with that and 2K11. 2K11 is nothing like 2K11, like, period. I love being a god. Now, 2K17, I won't lie to you. I absolutely hated NBA 2K17. I hated that game. And even to this day, looking back on it, I know there's videos about like, yo, we took games for granted. I still hate that game, and I'll tell y'all why. But the point is, the time period that I was in, even though I hate that game, I'll still go back and play it, because that time period, like I said, just coming home after school, I'm getting on 2K, like, you ain't want to do nothing else, and I had all my friends, and it was just an amazing experience, this crazy nostalgia, right? Now, I hated 2K17 because I'm actually an advocate for having superstar players. I want to make LeBron James, Kevin Durant, like, you know what I'm saying, Kobe Bryant. Everybody watches these build videos because they want to make players that are like the true NBA players nowadays, right? And it's harder to do that with all these limitations. So 2K17 was the game that introduced the archetype system, unless you consider the inside-outside, you know, balance an archetype system from 2K16. But the true archetype system, well, I'm saying you could only choose one archetype. If you was a playmaker, you was just a playmaker. You just a ball handler and a passer, and that was it. Like, your three was okay, but you couldn't be a shooter like Stephen Curry, right? Now imagine, I was just watching a Soul Illuminati video. He's talking about, yo, how it's trash because you want to have handles, but you want to still be able to shoot. Kyrie Irving could do that. The 6'2" Kyrie Irving could still dribble and shoot, but you couldn't do that. So 2K17 was like trash in that way. If you want to be a slasher, like, you could be a slasher, but your jump shot is broken now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't shoot at all. So that's what kind of made the game to me like, all right, this is garbage. Like, you could literally only be one thing and just be super amazing at that one thing. And that was like the true role player game. A lot of people love 2K17 though. So, you know, to each their own. That wasn't my thing, but I still like the time and where the 2K community was at the time and stuff like that. 2K17 also had problems with brick wall screens, like sending you, like, somebody set a screen on you, it'd probably send you out of bounds, like you go flying, and ankle breakers were too excessive. But we ain't even gonna talk about that. I'll still say that 2K18 is worse than 2K17. So 2K17, don't like the game, I like the time period. 2K18, buy year, trash. It's on the 2K12 list. It's trash, it's garbage. I don't even want to talk about it. 2K18, I'm not even saying we underappreciating that. There's nothing to appreciate about 2K18. If you never played it, don't play it. Don't watch videos on it. It's trash. Unless you want to know how trash it was, just don't even think about 2K18. So next was 2K19. Now I will say this, 2K19 and 2K18 had the same system, which was double archetypes. You know, 2K17, I just said, had single archetypes. 2K18, 19 had double archetypes, so you could pick, oh, I want to do passing and ball handling is one primary skill, and then 3-point shooting is the next primary skill. So that was okay about 2K18, but there was just so much stuff about it that was trash that I don't even want to talk about. 2K19 was cool. The problem I had with 2K19 though was this system where your rep was connected to your overall. So hitting the 99 overall, like you would have to play this game day in, day out, all night. I hated having your overall connected to your rep, because that means your player could never truly be 99 overall unless you was like eat, sleeping, like pissing, and just 2K was your life, bro. Like that was the only way you was hitting 99, which means my player was always worse than he could have been, because that rep was attached to my player's skill level, and it was just like, that was a problem. Now gameplay wise, I like 2K19. I like what the content creators did for 2K19, so that game was still lit and fun. Now the last 2K game I had fun on was 2K20. Now I believe 2K20 was a pie chart era, so it gave us pie charts, everything like that, which is still like the archetypes, primary, secondary archetypes and stuff like that, but just in the pie chart. Now that was a lit time, because I was still able to create somewhat more of a superstar player. Now I could create a player that was like very similar to LeBron James, and you could find jump shots that were good enough that you could still green the shots, even though your three is probably like in the 60s or whatever. So you could still shoot the ball. So I'm like, all right, I'm getting closer to returning to superstar player status. It still wasn't all the way there. You still had limitations, but it was what it was. 2K20 was cool too. I don't got no problems with that. That's when all the wages would happen with the content creators too. Now, 2K21 to 2K23 were absolute garbage, like crappy years. 3 bye years in a row, like we just don't want to talk about it, you don't want to see it. 2K21 was trash, and it's this transition from old gen to now current gen, but people were saying next gen at the time, right? So next gen was PS5, right? And this Xbox Series S and X and stuff like that. But now I'm saying this is current gen. Like at this point, we should be calling PS5s current gen and everything like that, right? But it was that transition. They're creating the game for the next gen and the current gen, and I don't know if that split attention made it worse, but that transition period was horrible. But I think now, like we're on 2K24, we're starting to get more focus on specifically the next gen, even though they're still dropping current gen. But 21 to 23 was like god awful, was trash. Even though I will say for 2K23, I don't remember for 2K22 and 21, because I really didn't touch those. I ain't even had people to play with. I didn't really touch those. But like 2K23, I saw you was able to get superstar players back. That's what I was most excited about. Even though I was happy to get superstar players back, it was just like, you know, like, I don't know, bro. Everybody was running around with the same build. It kind of wasn't the same way in which you had superstar players of 2K15 and stuff like that. But like, it just didn't hit the same. It didn't feel the same. The game has just been changing. 2K24, I actually appreciate the build system. I like the build system. Like, I feel like we could create superstar players, but we still can't do every single possible thing. Like, there's still limitations to your player. But I could still definitely make a player that's similar to LeBron or KD and things like that. And I already got videos of that on my channel. So 2K24 is like this in-between time, but there is literally nothing like what felt like 2K11, 2K15, 16, 17 for some people. Like, there's nothing like that. So I'm telling you guys now, we took the old 2K games for granted. We shouldn't take them for granted anymore. Look, man, if there's a new 2K that turns out to actually be good, and we're just calling it trash at the time, the current time, and we look back on it, and we're like, dang, that game was actually fire. Like, in the moment, if you think it's good, try to acknowledge that it's actually good, or it's actually not that bad. You would just change a few things. It's always gonna have a few problems, but the factor is, the thing that matters, is it fun? If you having fun with the game, acknowledge that, like, this game is nice. If you could still play this game for hours a day, especially when you're not getting money from it, then acknowledge that the game is nice, bro. Like, because I'm telling you, when you look back on it, you're gonna miss all those moments. You're gonna miss the old games that you had when you're comparing it to what you have now. So that's really all I gotta say about it, man. We just ain't been appreciating 2K for what it was back then. It is trash now, but we ain't appreciated back then. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe to J Athletic Gaming, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.